chillin' with the SmokeFellas, and yeah, we keep it real. Lucky Lefty, Ben, and KDL. Sit down for lady talk with Smoke and Joe as well. Sit down and watch the shop talk. Sit down and come to shop talk. Go ahead, puff the cigars up. You ain't ready for us. Come enjoy the shop talk.
Yo, 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 yo. What's up, people? Can y'all hear me out here? What's up, people? What's
Yeah,
going
I
on?
hear you, man.
Yeah, you on?
My bad, man. I'm trying out some new headphones today. Your man, Mr. SmokeFella, is back. I am not going to be in the host. I am going to be in the studio. And my man, Lucky Lefty, is still going to run this, man. So, Lucky Lefty, go ahead, take over, man, and do your thing, because it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
What's going on, good people?
What up?
Welcome back, Humidor Sports and Cigars podcast. Thank you all for joining us on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. We are back. So I will be conducting the train again today, even though Ben's back in the building, man. Glad you're feeling better, brother. Good to have you back. So let's introduce the panel, man. Let's start off. Ben, holler at him, man. Tell him what you got to say.
What's up, man? This is my first stick in about 2 weeks, man. I don't even know what to say, man. It's a feeling that I ain't had in so long. But glad to be back with you guys, man. If you would have saw me a couple of days ago, you'd have thought that I was Sasquatch or something, man, because I had hair like this. My beard was out of here, man. So I'm back at the land of the living, man. Let's get this train going. Let's go.
And my man PG 69 back in the building. Holler at him, PG.
What up, good people? Hey, I want to welcome my man, Mr. SmokeFella 626 back. So basically, you looking like that one shirt that you made with the afro and the DJ guy. In other words, right?
Yeah, I was waiting for that, man.
I'm smoking this 2012 by Oscar Valadez today. So as we get on this train, I'm ready to go, fellas. Let's do it.
And of course, one of our usual suspects, KDL 33. Say what's up to the people, brother.
What's happening, people? What's going on? I'm not smoking today, but I will be shortly after the show. But I got a beverage. So let's go. Hey, Ben, welcome back, brother. Glad you feeling better.
Hey, man, to be honest, man, you know, your boy from the shot that just I don't want to be no spoilers, but he is no longer on the show. You know how bad he was looking as he was homeless. He looked better than me.
Dang.
Wow.
That's strong. And of course, y'all know it's me, Lucky Lefty, aka it's 5 o'clock somewhere, and it will be soon. And I will be smoking on Asylum 13 a little later, not smoking right now. So let's get this train rolling, man. We got a lot to cover. A lot went on this week in the sports world. And of course, you know, it's good to just have sports back. You know, the NBA bubble, baseball going on, Crosstown Classic, a lot of NFL news. So, and we got NCAA news, boxing news, the whole nine. So y'all know how this show go. We're going to start it off with smoke or ash. If you agree, blow some smoke. If you disagree, ash that shh. So let's start off. NCAA. So we know the news last week came out. The Big Ten wants to postpone fall sports, which pretty much hurts football, and possibly cancel it if things aren't better by 2021. So the news this week was student athletes want to transfer to conferences that are having a season, that are playing in the fall, but they want to transfer with no penalties, not sit out. You should be able to transfer and go right in and play right away. So, you know, the SEC is playing, the ACC is playing. So Smoke or Ash, do you agree these athletes, like in the Big Ten and I forgot the other conference, I think the Pac-12 is not playing in the fall? It's both of those. Do you, Smoke or Ash, should they be able to transfer to a school that's definitely playing, especially as a senior without any penalties, no sitting out, come in right away? Smoke or Ash, let's bring Mr. Smokefella back right away. Come on, Ben.
How did I know that you was going to come to me first? But I'm prepared for you, brother. So I think that seniors are the only ones that should have that no clause, be able to transfer when they want. The seniors only. Because you still have to protect the program, man. I'm just going to be honest. You got to protect the program. And if all these kids are allowed to just jump ship, then that could destroy a whole program. And a program, it will take them 3 to 4 years to respond back from that. But I really do think that the seniors are the only ones that should be allowed that ability to do so. So I'm gonna go ahead and smoke to it only from the senior standpoint.
All right. Kev getting situated. PG, Smoke or Ash?
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. I'm gonna smoke to it too. As Ben said, I would only go from a senior standpoint because you got these boys looking to play their senior year and possibly get drafted. For them to have to not play this year, I think it would be detrimental to their careers. Probably anybody beyond that, they should be made to wait or suffer the consequences, sit out a year if they have to transfer. But seniors should be able to transfer and still play this year.
KDL, Smoke or Ash? Student athletes want to transfer. What you think?
I am going to smoke to it because I think everybody should be allowed, not just the seniors. True, the seniors are the ones that's most affected because either they're NFL players or they're trying out or they're working out to go, to the league or whatever. But you got juniors that leave early too. So why should it just be the seniors? Now, if you're going to do it right, it should be a limited amount per school that can transfer. This is out of everybody's control. This is unheard of. So you shouldn't penalize people and make them stay to a program that you chose to cancel or you chose to postpone. I think everybody should be allowed. But like I said, just limit the number of people that can do it. Everybody's not going to want everybody. I mean,
you can't just have a free fall. It can't get crazy.
But just limit the amount of people.
I got a question to that then.
Yeah, I got to call BS on you, Kev.
You know why? And you know what? That's what I want to say, Ben. But I ain't want to call it BS. I want to say, how can you limit it? What's your parameters on limiting that? I think if you're gonna limit it, you shouldn't do it for nothing but seniors. How do you limit it?
But here's the thing though. If you only let the seniors go, what about the juniors that's eligible to come out early that needed this season to prove themselves? You got juniors that come out early too. So why penalize them?
Look, I get what you're saying, but a junior still has a year eligibility. Yes, he may want to come out, but I'm sorry, to keep some control on this, so you all, like you said, it won't be a free for all. It has to be limited to the senior base only, because a junior, you still can come back and play.
So here's an example. Trevor Lawrence, right? He's projected to be the top pick in the draft, quarterback from Clemson. Even though the ACC's playing, what if he was at Ohio State, and they postponing the year? He may not want to wait another year and possibly get injured. So like, how does that work?
So with Trevor Lawrence's background,
now let's keep it real. With Trevor Lawrence, I don't care where his name pop up, he going.
There it is. That's what I was just gonna say. With his background,
he improve what everybody knows what he can do.
Exactly.
So, if he was a freshman, sophomore, junior, 18-year student, whatever, his name is getting called.
But wait. He's a special exception. He's an exception. But what I'm saying is, y'all making my point. He's not a senior.
Right.
So
Trevor Lawrence isn't a senior. Right.
Right. So what if he was at Ohio State? And let's say he's not projected the top pick, but he's projected as a pick. Why shouldn't he be able to transfer? He's on the NFL's radar.
Well, the COVID-19 has been unfair altogether. I
agree.
been able to reconstruct some. So he has a choice. If you're a junior and you're not projected, you have one or two choices. You stay for your other year, even if you are projected. You either stay for that senior year or you go ahead and take your chances.
Well, let's be totally honest. Trevor Lawrence can sit out this year and probably still be the top pick.
Still be a top pick. Exactly.
Like Trevor Lawrence, but I just use him as an example. But, you do have some offensive linemen, some players that maybe wanted to come out a little earlier that needed this season to push their draft stock, to get them draft eligible. So with that, let's further elaborate a little bit. Will this hurt future recruiting for the Big Ten and the Pac-12? Like with what they're doing, will this affect them recruiting-wise? KDL, what you got?
I think it will. I think it's going to affect them if you don't play because you don't have tape on kids. Like high schools are delaying stuff too. So COVID is messing everybody up. And if you don't have tape on kids, how does it fare? How does it fall in the recruiting game, right? So if you UCLA, you USC, not only is the high schools not playing, but you yourself are not playing. So you don't have tape on your own kids, right? They can practice all they want. So now when they play in the spring, that's usually not, football recruiting season. So how do you, of course it's going to affect recruiting because where are you getting your kids from? Where are you getting your tape from? Where are you getting, I think it's going to affect everything. I think it's going to mess everything up, man, to be honest. They got to do what they got to do, but it's going to mess everything up.
Come on, Ben, what you got?
I'm not going to say it's going to mess up recruiting. But what it is going to do is change the game when it comes to recruiting. These schools are going to have to rethink their process, how they're going to evaluate kids. They're going to have to get on it. They're going to have to get on their grind. These schools are going to have to hit the payment like old school. Before you had the tapes and all of that stuff, but most schools have an archive of tapes for kids for the colleges to see. All schools got those kind of systems set in place. But the way they recruit and the way they go after kids, and the one thing about these schools, their mouthpieces are gonna have to get strong. Their salesmanship is gonna have to get strong now because everybody's gonna be doing the same thing, and that's all you're gonna get is this. Right. Because you can't say, oh well, we big box program and we did this last year. You didn't because you didn't play. Right. You know what I'm saying? So now you're gonna have to get your mouthpiece on and talk to these parents and so forth. Because these parents are deep because they were deep yesterday out there picking in a Big Ten country. Our headquarters at Big Ten because they not liking what the Big Ten is saying. So, now you gotta, these parents are more involved now than they have been over the last, I would say 10 years. Now these parents got stakes. These parents are really lending their voice, and so are these students. So now these schools, they're gonna have to have a better mouthpiece. You just can't show up with your colors on, and that's gonna get you where you need to be at now. No, because I'm gonna say this again. These HBCUs now have jumped into the fold, and now they building strong cases to the parents. So now recruiting ain't easy no more. Now you gotta spit some game.
It's more players in the game now.
Yeah, it's more players in the game. You gotta be that
more players in the game.
That pimp, that hustler, and got to have that mouthpiece to get what you want nowadays, man. These players just ain't gonna fall into your lap just because you are Alabama, you're so and so, you're here.
Right.
Now you got to get your mouthpiece and talk to these parents, and it's about it now.
So PG, let's go a little further, real quick. Yeah, hold on, Kim. Come right back to you. PG. So if your son, just say the Big Ten ends up canceling the whole season. Just say they just skip it. And then your son got a choice between Ohio State and, say, Alabama. Which one you letting your kid go to? I'm going to take that now.
I think it goes back to what Ben said. They got to come with it, man, because first of all, with what the parents are looking at now, the parents are looking at what kind of plan do you have in place for my kid? Not just about them playing as far as their safety. I think me coming from a parent, I want to know what kind of safety measures that you're gonna have for my kid.
Okay.
Then I know my kid want to play. You know what I'm saying? My kid is one of the top players in the country. Do I want him to sit out another year? No, I don't want him to sit out another year. He want to play. Alabama come and say, hey, this is what we got.
So would you be torn thinking, okay, Ohio State, you know, they care more about the safety of the kids as far as the COVID, or a school like Alabama who say, no, we playing regardless? You know, would that affect, you know, how you would feel as a parent when they come to you trying to recruit your kid?
I think it would. Because right now, we already know how this thing is out here. I would prefer for my child to be safe rather just go on just so they can play a game, because that game could possibly lead to them never playing anything ever again in their lifetime. So I think, and yeah, I'll be definitely with safety over playing.
Okay, all right. Let's move on, and I'm gonna rearrange this a little bit, the notes just a tad bit, because I want to get into Adam Silver, NBA commissioner. He wants to push the start of the 2020-2021 season back. He wants to push it back from December. Like right now, they're scheduled to start in December, but he wants to push it back to maybe January, February, with the hopes of getting fans in the stands. So Smoker asked, do you agree that the NBA should push the start of next season back? Let's start. I'm going to go with KDL with this. Start with you.
I smoke to it because I agree with him. The season is not going to end now to what, October or something like that?
Right.
When the final? You asking these guys to end in October. You asking them to come right back in December and start a season. So if you push it back to January, you can handle all your free agent business, who's going to move around or whatever, and you're not forcing them. That's a lot of basketball to ask somebody to stop in October and start right back in December. So yeah, it's always about the bottom line. So yeah, they're anticipating fans at the beginning of the year being in the stand. That's more money. So of course they're gonna do that. So yeah, I smoke to that. I think it's a good idea.
PG, what you got?
I agree with Kat. I had to smoke to that. And one reason is, like he said, that's a lot of basketball to be asking somebody to play to stop 1 month and the very next month you want them to start back. They need time to rest. If you look at it right now, look at Donachik. So he went down last night with an ankle injury, right?
Right.
Who's to say he even gonna be able to come back for the rest of this series? And then to have that man to come back a month later and start playing again, the players need to rest, man. They need to get healthy before you can have them go back out there and try to play again. So I would say I would agree to it. I'll smoke to that.
All righty. But, you know, I know that, you know, it should be about the players, but the main reason he's doing this is to get fans back in the stands because, like Kev said, it affects that bottom line. It's about them owners getting paid. So, Mr. Smokefella, Ben, what you got? You smoking the ash from the pushing the season back?
I'm ashing that.
Oh.
I'm ashing that. Okay. Let me tell you, you all made some great points about they need rest and all that. Remember, they had 3 to 4 months off already. They had their off time already. So that right there, out the door. Okay. So they are paid to play. They have set some structure. So don't go against the grain now, because now you got into the bubble. You see how things going, and there might be some ways to get some fans in if we push back. Stop that, man. Stop that. You got a good thing going right now. You had a plan. Stay with that plan. And it's a game of basketball, baby. If you get an ankle injury, whatever, hey, it happens. It can happen the start of next season that Luka goes down, or that the next man goes down. That's basketball, baby. Basketball.
So Ben, would you be okay? Would you be okay with them beginning the season in the bubble? Because you do have teams like the Bulls, the Knicks, who didn't get to play in the bubble, so they pretty much would be off if they push this season's back. That's almost a year that these guys have had off. So Ben, would you be okay with them starting in the bubble?
I'm okay with them starting in the bubble, and the bubble does not all have to be Florida. They could have several bubbles around the United States. Okay. They can
KDL, you were saying something?
I was going to say that you don't think the probability of people getting injured. So let's say whoever the two teams that make the finals, and they end end of October. You're asking them to sit out 1 month in November, which basically you're going to have to start training camp. Like you have to have time for free agency. You have to have time for rest, like PG say. You have to have time to handle business transactions. So you're saying stop in October, do all your free agency draft and all that. You got to remember that there hasn't been a draft yet. There has not been free agency. So you're saying do all that in November and start right back playing in December. Now, what about training camp? What about, you know what I mean? Like you need time to handle business. So it makes sense to start in January or February. Now they
what
start.
are you saying that these teams that are not playing? It's going to be 2 teams for the finals. What are these other teams doing? They just sitting there resting on their laurels? No, they should be conducting business and getting themselves ready for the next season.
Well, you should have been good enough to make the playoffs. It's not our fault that COVID hit and you couldn't play since March and you weren't eligible for the bubble. That's not our concern. But hey man, what I'm saying is it's a lot of business that needs to happen. Like I said, draft, then you got to have a training camp, then you have free agency period. Right. You can't do all that in November and start right back in December. That makes no sense.
You be in training camp.
Well, that's true. And at what point does it go back to normal? At some point, you're gonna have to have a short rest period to get the season back on the schedule they used to be. At some point, even if they push the start of the season back, what they only gonna play a 40, 50 game season next year?
No,
it's off schedule. It's off schedule. You ain't gonna see that for at least 3 years, bro. It's off schedule.
Everything's off.
So,
hey Ben, I felt you almost took a shot at my team talking about some. If you ain't playing, you should be in training camp right now.
you definitely should.
That sounds like some Lakers hater stuff right there at the Bulls, man. I don't understand.
Hey, I heard the Bulls on their way back from Cancun right now.
Dang, Cancun?
Well, they probably on the same flight with the Knicks.
Well, they definitely on the same flight with the Knicks.
Well,
they're on the same flight with the Knicks. But we're gonna get more. We're gonna get more into some NBA a little later. So real quick, last time we're gonna smoke an ash. Oscar De La Hoya. Let's get into some boxing. Man. So this Roy Jones, Mike Tyson thing seems to have a trickle-down effect. We hearing Holyfield wants to come back, but Oscar De La Hoya wants to return to the ring. He's 47 years old. His last fight was against Manny Pacquiao, where he got the brakes beat off of him in 2008. But he's saying he wants a real fight, no exhibition. He wants to fight. So PG, smoke an ash to De La Hoya coming back to the ring.
Man, I'm ashing that garbage. Why? You're gonna die, man. One of these dudes is gonna wind up getting seriously hurt. Why? Manny Pacquiao, Oscar De La Hoya. He owns Golden Boy Productions, right?
Right.
The man got investments in movie deals and stuff like that. He worth $200 million. What are you trying to get back in the ring for? Who are you trying to prove anything to?
Yeah.
One of these dudes are going to get seriously hurt messing around. Tyson and Roy might need some money. We already know what Tyson's problem is. Tyson's just a little bit off. So that's what it is with them. But I just don't see what Oscar got to prove and to who. He already, like you said, Pacquiao already beat the brakes off of him. So
right.
who he gonna fight?
Yeah, that's true. Ben, I saw your reaction when I started talking about it. So come on with it, bro.
I initially was going to ash it, but I'm going to smoke to this one. Because guess what? If he want to come in and get this work, if he want to get some of this Triple G, I want to see him get this Triple G. Because last time I saw your boy De La Hoya fight, he trying to man, get that throw 1,000 punches in the air, man, and let one of these Triple G punches catch you right on the top of your dome, and I want to see you go down.
Ben want to witness a murder.
Right. KDL, you smoking the ash into De La Hoya coming back, bro.
Hey, man, I'm going to add to it, and if I can add to it twice, I would. You telling me a man has not fought since Barack Obama's first term, wants to get in the ring at 47 for what? Now, obviously, it can't be about money because he got it, right? So what is it about? You watching Roy Jones who the last time we saw him, his back of his head hit the camera. You want to go in at 47 and fight who exactly? Who is he fighting? You can't get in there and fight none of these fighters right now. Oscar De La Hoya, you out of your mind? Who would help train him? Who would say, "Yeah, I got you, dog. Let's do it." Come on, man. They ain't your real friends, man. And I don't know who done talked them into it. Like, come stop. Ask this, man. Ask this.
All right, so let me ask y'all this. So say being brought up Triple G. Just say pay-per-view, Triple G and De La Hoya, on a comeback. Would you pay for that? Would you pay to watch that?
Listen, I'm gonna see his earlobe get split like your boy, and he gonna be stumbling around. I'm gonna watch him get his ass beat. I'm gonna pay to see his ass get beat.
KDL.
No, I'm not paying for it. And the end result, again, is going to be like Roy Jones and Tarver, man. Y'all already know this. You don't pay for this. Somebody, like his real friends should talk him out of this, right? Like, who's his real friends, man?
His real friends are the ones that's in his camp that's getting some dough by being in his ear. They like, "Hey, man, tell him he can do it. All right. You got this, bro."
Hey, he gonna be out there. Hey, you remember the movie Rocky Balboa when he fought Tarver? He was all old, looking terrible out there. That's exactly what it's gonna look like. PG, what you got? Would you pay for it?
I'm not paying for that, man. As long as it's the Fire Stick, I'll watch it. But with that Fire Stick, I'm not paying for it.
Yeah,
I'll get somebody. No, man. I'm gonna care. If I could ask this out twice, I would ask it out twice. It just don't make no sense, man. None whatsoever.
Oh, man. Let them get what they asking for, man. Let them get that smoke.
I don't want to watch nobody die in the ring, man.
We don't want to watch nobody die, man.
Man, I'll give you $10 to come by your crib. We can sit in the basement and watch.
I'm scared. I'm scared for Roy, man. They talking about some no knockout clause in that fight, man. How do you tell Tyson not to hit somebody hard enough to knock them out or hurt them?
Hey, PG, that's a great point, because with that being said, both boxers have said they are not treating this like an exhibition. They want to fight, and that fight's been pushed back to like Thanksgiving, I think, Thanksgiving weekend. But they saying this, they not treating like an exhibition. They're gonna go in there and fight.
And who cares about hair gear? If Tyson hit that man in the head hard enough, he's still gonna knock him out.
Now, I will say that this fight, I am scared for Roy. I am.
I'm definitely scared for him.
He has been known to get his head knocked out of the ring.
Yes. And he eating a cheeseburger right now.
Damn.
That's all I see is Martin, when he get knocked up into the wall, come out, I don't want to fight no more. I don't want to fight no more.
Hey, this is what he did, Ben.
In the words of the late great Tupac, looking like Larry Holmes, flabby and sick. That's definitely how Roy looking right now. Roy chunky them up. Roy is chunky. And we have Big Joe time in from Florida, man. He said money grab as far as De La Hoya, but like PG said, he don't need no money.
Look, big up to Ivan with that.
Big up to producer Ivan.
He's already dead.
The man is dead. Come on, man.
Hey, man. Hey, real quick, though. This reminds me of this skit that came on where the girl was for the fight. She said, Kiki, stop it. That girl done already killed you. And Kiki kept trying to fight. And she said, you already dead, Kiki. That's how Roy gonna be already dead, man.
Oh, man.
The CB Detroit champ.
Right. The CBC champ. All right, man. So let's move on, man. Let's get to some NFL news and notes. We already did our division previews and all that. We went through all the divisions, so we done with that. So let's get into a few other things. So QB battles in camp, and the two most noted are the Bears battle and the New England Patriots battle. The Bears, Trubisky and Foles, and the Patriots, who right now is Stidham, Hoyer, and Newton. And Belichick is talking about possibly a rotation, like he want to play all of them, which I don't know how he's going to do it, but he's actually talking about it. So let's start off with who wins those battles. Kick it off. Who wins the Bears battle and then who wins the Patriots battle? Who will be the starting quarterback in 3 weeks when the NFL kicks off?
Okay, I'm gonna start with the Patriots first. In that battle with Stedham and Newton, I think Newton is going to win that battle. Now, he'll be on a. I think he'll be on a short leash because if he has some problems reading their plays and understanding their concepts, he'll have to get pulled. Now, for how long, I don't know until he can get himself, acclimated to that system. But I think he will be the starting QB.
Can't hear nobody.
Now, when Trubisky and Foles, they're in the battle right now. We just don't see it. They're in the battle right now. I think it will go to Trubisky, but he will be on a very, very short leash because a lot has to do with the GM's job and the coach's job. Their jobs and stuff are on the line. They don't got time to play around, so he's going to be on a short leash. He'll win the job because he's been there, and they're gonna give him a shot to prove it. But he's on the short leash, and Foles is in the background, ready to take over, man.
I'm back, fellas.
Okay. Well, we know how Kev feel about.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can. We know how Kev feel about Mr. Trubisky, but I'm gonna take it to him anyway. QB battles, man. The Bears battle and the Patriots battle. What you got?
The Bears is not a battle. It's a replacement happening. When you bring in a guy that used to be with all the coaches on the staff in Kansas City, who is familiar with the offense, and who's just outright a better quarterback. I mean, I'm not saying the man is all that, but he's better than Trubisky. This is not a competition. This is a replacement. Nagy's job is on the line because he can't have another losing season off the first season he had, right? So his job is on the line, but then so is the GM's job, right? It's not the answer. Like, they gave him chances. The man don't even trust him throwing the ball. So this is not a competition. This is a replacement. Now let's talk about New England. The only reason Cam Newton possibly would not start, because clearly he's the better quarterback when healthy. If he doesn't catch up with the playbook that New England does, and Josh McDaniels doesn't use him running, which he's never had a chance to do with any quarterback in New England. So the only reason he wouldn't start is because there is no preseason, no time for him to play. So he might not catch up with the playbook. That's the only reason he wouldn't start. He's clearly the better quarterback. Now, let's be real. So, barring injury, and they're not saying he's slow or none of that. They're saying he's healthy. So he's going to start. But I could say that possibly with no preseason, he probably won't learn the playbook too tough. And he might have to come in, gradually get in there. But eventually he's going to be the starter. But the Trubisky stuff, we can stop with that. That's not a competition. Let's move on.
So we got, real quick before I go to Pat, we got a few comments.
Hey, I can't hear Lucky.
Can you hear me now? You in there? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Pat? Okay, real quick, let me read some comments. We got our Armando.
I can't hear Lucky.
Hold on. We got you. We got Armando Lara Jr. Trubisky is Pace's guy. Trubisky fails. It means Pace has failed, and Pace doesn't want that. And Big Will said flat out, y'all still believing in two-pick Mitch. Two-pick Mitch, that's what he called him. And Big Joe chimed in and said, I think Cam wins, but I like the rotation idea. The coach got a plan. Now that's a good point, because you know that can twist some defenses up. You bring in Cam for a few plays, then switch out and bring Stidham in for a few plays. It can wreak havoc on the defense.
Now you know what they say. You know what they say now. When you play on 2 and 3 quarterbacks, you have no one quarterback.
Facts.
So I get the gimmicks and all that, but if you got a guy that can run, which you've never had the opportunity, Johnson Daniels never had the opportunity to call these type plays. So you got a guy that can run, he can throw. Like, hey man, Stidham, you was our guy before we went and got this guy. So it is what it is. You was gonna sit if Tom Brady was here, so what difference do it make? So you run with Cam, but I can see him being behind with no preseason. I can see that.
So you do understand that's called coach speak. That's coach talk.
Right.
He's coming out, and that's coach talk, and he's going to say these things about Cam, Stedham, because you can't, Stedham being young, you can't, destroy him you know, you already brought this man in, so he looking like, damn, I thought it was my shot. No, that's coach speak, and the coach has to go tread lightly. And the same thing when the Bears camp. You got to tread lightly because remember, Trubisky was their man. You put all your chips in him, so now you got to give this man a shot. Now you got him on a short leash because you brought somebody in that's hungry and ready to prove himself because the last couple of years he ain't got hurt. He ain't got teams to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So it's that coach talk that you gotta weed through it. You gotta weed through the coach talk, and we all know what's gonna happen. Cam will start, so will Mitch. How long is the question?
Okay, PG, jump in on that. Jump in. QB camp battles. Who you? Trubisky, Foles, Stidham, and Newton. What's your thoughts?
Well, again, we already know Trubisky's going to start because, again, Ryan Pace needs Trubisky to show up and show out this year to save his job and Trubisky's job. But by game 3 or 4, we already know, like Ben said, he's on a very short leash. And by game 3 or 4, it's not going to be about saving jobs no more. It's going to be about saving the season. And that's when Foles is going to step into the game and see if he can help save the season so they can have a winning season. And we already know Stidham is still basically a rookie. He didn't get a lot of time. You know what I'm saying? He knows the playbook, true, but he doesn't have that veteran leadership. If Cam is healthy, Cam is going to start, barring no injuries. Whether he knows the playbook because he's a professional, he's an athlete, so he can pick up on that playbook real quick. So he's definitely going to start.
Okay, Kev, come on, Kev, what you got?
I got a question for the panel. If we are anticipating Foles taking over game 2 or 3 to save the season, then why are we starting him? See how everything is pointing to Foles? Nagy has a job to protect too. You can't come in blazing and then the next 2 years don't make the playoffs. His job is on the line too. He has to win. So he's going to put the best person in there to win. He ain't tripping off Pace. Pace can't make the coaching decision. You got me this guy on the roster. I'm going to play him because I need to win games for my job. So y'all got a dilemma. Y'all got a dilemma.
So here's a good question, and we'll keep it local. Just say it's even. Just say Foles and Trubisky are even coming out of camp and going to week 1. Who do you go with? And if Foles is the quarterback and they don't get to the playoffs, is Pace out of here? Ben, what you got? Go ahead, Ben.
Bye-bye, Pace. If this doesn't work out with Mitch or Foles, you're good as done, bro. Yeah. You're done. Now, Nagy, on the other hand, will he get another shot with another QB? Jury is still out on that. But Pace, you're done, buddy. If this doesn't work this year, regardless if it's Mitch or Foles, you done. Matter of fact, we're going to have that Greyhound bus waiting for you in front of your house. Just pack you and your family up, and we'll see you when you see you.
You going to put the man on a mega bus?
Put him on a mega bus, baby.
And we're going to have Staley. We're going to have Staley put his bags up under the carriage.
And we're going to send them straight. We're going to send them straight to New York. They need any help they can get.
Wow. Kev, I'm gonna let you respond to that, Kev.
I'm back.
First of all, this has nothing to do with the Giants and everything to do with the Bears. Let's not lose focus. But let me ask y'all this.
Hold on. Whoa.
Big up to Ivan, man.
Wow.
Ivan is clowning.
Ivan, I thought we was cool, bro. Wow.
Big up to Ivan.
But let me ask y'all this. Don't y'all think that Nagy's job is on the line just like Pace's? Like if they don't make the playoffs for 2 years in a row, that falls on the coach. That don't fall on Pace. Pace's job is on the line because of Trubisky. Nagy's job on the line for not winning football games. Don't y'all think he got something to like? He has to win too. Nah, this ain't just Pace. He has to win too.
Right.
So, come on now. He got to play the best man to get him wins. That's what I'm saying. This is a coaching decision. This ain't got nothing to do with Pace.
Okay, real quick before we go to PG, we got Big Will chimed in and said, this is not the NCAA. Platooning QBs means none of them have picked up the system solidly. That's a great point. That's right. He also said, for as far as the Bears, they not going anyway. Ship is selling. PG, chime in on that.
First of all, tell him to stay out of Bears business and to stick with them Ravens, because that we're not talking about them right now. As Kevin would say, that's neither here or there. But I would Ben. I believe Nagy's job is up too, but at the same time, I'm still gonna put the blame on Pace. Pace went up there and spent our second pick up Mitch Trubisky, and in 4 years he still ain't produced. That's a wasted pick. You fired.
Well, and let's keep in mind, he's had a few failed first-round picks. The wide receiver, Kevin White,
Yes.
who was the defensive end that they just let go. His name just it slipped away, but he's with the Rams now. That's why they had to go out and sign Quinn. So, yeah, Pace, even though he's done a good job like in the mid-late rounds with the Eddie Jacksons and the Tariq Cohens, his first-round picks have been horrible. And if you got to add Adam Shaheen, a high second-round pick, is also not on the roster anymore. So it is possible. So let's move on, man, real quick. An anonymous defensive coordinator says Kyler Murray will be harder to defend than Lamar Jackson, since my man Big Will chiming in, and we know he's a Ravens fan. But an anonymous D coordinator says Kyler Murray will be harder to defend than Lamar Jackson. Now, some of his explanation was because Kyle Murray his arm is a bigger threat than Lamar Jackson. So I don't know if he's saying like they got Lamar kind of figured out, but Kyler's going to be a lot harder to guard. So do you agree or disagree with that? Let's start with PG.
I'm gonna almost agree, and only because of his arm, and he's quick and elusive. You know what I'm saying? He can still run the ball also. But as far as going down the field as a decoy, yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence with that one though.
Okay. KDL, you agree or disagree with the anonymous defensive coordinator?
I'm gonna take it as he's saying he's gonna be more dangerous and harder to guard because he can throw the ball and he can run. But now he has Hopkins on one side, and he has Fitzgerald on one side. So maybe he's saying because he got some more weapons down there, now if he's more dangerous because he can take off and run and he can still throw that ball. But I'm gonna take it like that because clearly he's not Lamar Jackson. So I'm gonna take it to mean he has better weapons around him, and that makes him more dangerous. I'm gonna take it that way. I'm gonna take it that way because you got to remember, he got Hopkins on his side and Fitzgerald who catches everything. On, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna take it that's what he means. Like maybe that's what he means. I can't take it.
Big Will chimed in. I'm thinking he's talking about Kyle Murray. He said they have no O-line. And that, I mean, I think they drafted the O-line. They drafted the O-line. And they're trying to improve it, but I mean, we'll see what happens. Big Ben, agree or disagree?
I'm gonna disagree with this. And if this wasn't a family show, they would get the Smokefella finger on this one. Because there's no way that you're gonna say that Kyle Murray is gonna shock the world like Lamar Jackson. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. I know you got D-Hop over there, but Fitzgerald is 87 years old. He's been in the league.
Those are facts.
He's been in the league.
Hey, man, he still catches everything you throw at him, though, brother.
Larry Fitzgerald went to grammar school with us.
Exactly. Come on, man. Let's stop.
He's definitely old.
Let's stop. And Will, you right. They have no O-line. So when it breaks down, that's it. That's it. So now you think he's going to be Russell, Lamar, and he's going to get you all these. Man, the boy is going to get his head split open. He'll be running for his life.
Please don't agree with Will, folks, because that means we agree with the Ravens.
Now, I'm going to have to say this to you, Will. Stay out of grown folks' Bears business, and you stay out there in Baltimore, baby. Because
those are facts.
Big Will chimed in and said Lamar had 3,500 yards passing, but he can't throw. The disrespect, which is true. So real quick, guys, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna come back. We got a few more NFL notes. I want to get into some preseason award predictions. So stay with us. We'll be right back after this break. We are back. We are back. Thank you all for sticking with us. And this is Humidor Sports and Cigars podcast. Thank you all once again for joining us this Saturday afternoon. We're waiting for PG to come back. So in the meantime, let's move on. We're still sticking with NFL news and notes. NFL news and notes. Preseason award predictions. And let's just call it way too early award predictions. Let me we got a great question from Big Joe of Florida. How many Patriot fans jumping ship to my adopted home team, Tampa Bay?
Now listen here.
Hey, Joe, Bean is one of them. But go ahead.
Wow. Wow. Let me tell you like this, man. I'm in the house with a full-blown Patriots fan.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. Now, I asked her that same question. Now, she is still diehard Patriots, but she got love for Tom Brady. But she is going to stay a Patriots fan, and I gotta respect her for that. So, but there are a lot of turncoats out there. It's a turncoat world out there. What have you done for me lately? So people are going to follow Tom Brady. And
turncoat records, baby. Turncoat records.
But it's a lot of diehards, man. This is Boston we talking about, man. People ain't gonna leave Boston just because Tom is gone. Sorry. It is. This would
be a great question to ask my man Zachary Love, aka Guru, but that's neither here nor there.
You know what? I'm gonna speak for Zach, man. That's my boy, and he is staying a Boston Patriot.
No, Guru say he's a Tom Brady fan. Guru say he's a Tom Brady fan.
I think he's rolling with Tom. I think he's rolling with Brady.
Speak up, man.
I guarantee you, Guru will have a Buccaneers jersey with Brady on the back of it. I guarantee you.
Being a fan of a player, you can't. Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. But I think Guru is still gonna be down with the Patriots, man.
Now, cause Tom ain't there.
Because Lulu was gonna probably get her a TB Tampa Bay jersey because she like Tom Brady, but her alliance is gonna stay with the Patriots.
Now, Guru alliance with Tom Brady and Giselle Bunches.
Well, he gonna have. Shout out to my man Guru. He gonna have a number 12 jersey, but the back gonna say accidental icon. Y'all know how the Guru get at. Accidental icon.
Those are facts.
So let's move on, man. Way too early preseason award predictions. Now we already did our predictions on the who we think gonna win the divisions over the past few weeks. We all pretty much agreed on some of the division winners. I think maybe except one or two. But I want to talk about most valuable player this year. Who are you thinking right now? If you had to make a pick right now, KDL, who would you go with for most valuable player?
In the NFL?
Yep, NFL.
It usually goes to a quarterback. That's tough, man. I'm Mahomes out. I mean, he's a great player, but you can't just get a man awards every year. I'm going to say Lamar Jackson. I'm going to say, because it's going to go to a quarterback, in my opinion. So I'm going to say Lamar Jackson. I think he have a bounce back year. They lost in the first round.
Ben, who you got?
Listen, with the MVP, it's going to be based on who's the team that's doing well. Let's just keep it honest. You're just not giving the MVP to, say, Saquon Barkley coming out the gate, because we all know his team ain't going to be nothing. So you just can't come with a preseason MVP that doesn't make sense, because it won't make sense with New York. You can say the same thing about Chicago. You know what I'm saying? But it has to make sense. So you got to go with the Pat Mahomes. You got to go with Tom Brady because what they have on paper. Lamar Jackson for what he did last year. So those gonna be your top three. But now you got to throw in McCaffrey. He had an awesome season.
Definitely McCaffrey.
His name out there.
Well, his team ain't gonna be nothing either, though.
But
We ain't talking about fantasy football. We're talking about the MVP.
But you got to understand what that man has done with 35 people in the box, and he still had over 200 yards.
Killing.
You can't deny that.
No,
you can't deny
he's definitely cold. He a bad man. But if Saquon Barkley doesn't get hurt and play 16 games, he's gonna put up numbers too with nobody.
Come on, man.
He can't
even.
Man,
I know you saw his new commercial. Saquon Barkley, where he's carrying yogurt, and he drops yogurt. Come on, man.
Wow. Come on, PG, what you got?
Ain't nobody even talking about Saquon Barkley. But again, I'm with Ben. You have to. I'm still going with Patrick Mahomes until somebody knocks him off of that throne and off of that Super Bowl high. I'm still gonna go with him as being the most valuable player for the NFL this year. Offensive player though, I don't know. I'm going back. I'm gonna go with Christian McCaffrey this year, man. The boy had a stellar season last year, and I think he's gonna have another one of those seasons this year as well. The boy is gonna run for 1,000 plus yards again.
Lefty, if you want me to go ahead and pick one, I'm gonna go ahead and pick Drew Brees. There you go. You heard it right here.
Mm-hmm. Now hold on, I got it. So look, I'm gonna take Russell Wilson, MVP this year. But my dark horse, as much as it hurts my heart, Aaron Rodgers. He playing with a chip on his shoulder. He trying to prove something over there in Green Bay. So I'm looking at Aaron Rodgers as a possible MVP candidate. And as you can see, Saquon with the arm bar. So that's a great segue into our offensive and defensive players of the year. Too early preseason award predictions. KDL. Kick it off. Offensive, defensive players of the year. Who you got?
Defensive player of the year is probably going to be Aaron Donald for the Rams. It's a bad boy. Unless they give it to a corner or something like that. I'm not really sure. But I think Donald will get the defense. Offense, man, it got to be Mahomes or Jackson right now. Unless somebody just comes out and has a stellar year out of nowhere. But it has to be Mahomes or Jackson right now. Like if you're going into the season, who are you thinking about? KC and Baltimore clearly are one of the two best teams in the league going in. So it got to be Mahomes and Jackson offensively. They're probably not going to give it to a running back.
Okay. PG, you already started off offensive, defensive players of the year.
Well, I already said that I believe Christian McCaffrey may get the offensive player of the year. Defense, I had to go with Kevin. I said Aaron Donaldson. The boy is just unstoppable.
That boy cold.
He cold. He cold. So that's who I'm going with for defensive player of the year.
Ben, offensive, defensive players of the year. Who you got?
All right. I'm going out on a limb on both of these.
Uh-oh.
So listen up. I'm tired of looking Kevin on the screen, man. Ivan, thank you.
That was great, wasn't it?
Okay. My defensive player of the year is Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac.
Bring it home. Bring it home.
Mac is going to have a stellar season, and he is going to return as the defensive player of the year. So these are preseasons. So I'm giving you preseasons. As we go through the season, we'll see. Mac will be back, and my offensive player of the year preseason, I'm gonna go down to Dallas and give it to Zeke.
Oh, okay. We want to talk about Zeke. I got a dark horse, and I'm gonna keep it right here in Chicago. Roquan Smith for the Bears. He's gonna have a stellar year, and he's gonna win Defensive Player of the Year. You heard it here first. Roquan Smith. Watch Roquan Smith. He gonna have a year.
Wow.
We don't do drugs on this show, bro. We don't do drugs on this show. Okay.
Don't worry about
it. That's a prediction. That's my prediction. And I'm with Ben, man. I think Zeke gonna kill this shit. I think Zeke gonna kill this shit. But I think who's gonna be in the running. I'm gonna roll with Kev, Saquon Barkley. I'm gonna roll with his Giants. If that boy stay healthy, man, hey, he's a monster, and he's gonna get a lot of touches. As long as he can stay on the field, he's gonna put up some crazy numbers.
My dark horse offensive player is out of the Saints, Thomas. I'm telling you, now that's who catch everything.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He catches.
Oh yeah, he's bad man.
Yeah, he definitely got to stick him on his hands.
He catching.
Yeah, he's a bad man. Hey, and by game 2 in Chicago, I will have my Saquon jersey. Carry on.
So what?
Well, we'll use it as an ashtray while the game's going on. How about that?
Hey, here go our mascot.
You got the mascot on the show.
Sticks, baby, sticks.
Sticks.
Sick.
So, offensive, defensive rookies of the year.
Oh, yeah.
I know it's early, but who we rolling with? Ben, who you got? Rookies.
Man, this a tough one right here, bro.
Mm-hmm.
This is a tough one. Offensive, I gotta go with CeeDee Lamb. I gotta go with CeeDee Lamb right now, man. I mean, come on. They gonna feature him. They gonna put the ball in his direction. So that's all he got to do is show him to prove, and it's pretty much he is for the taking.
I like it. KDL, who you got? Rookies.
I'm finna surprise y'all. Ben, that was my second pick. My first pick is the running back out of Wisconsin that went to Indy. I think he's gonna keep.
Yeah.
That's offense. Defense is going to be Simmons, who the idiot GM of the Giants did not draft. Simmons out of Clemson, who went to Arizona.
Yeah.
He's going to kill. Y'all keep them names in mind. He going to kill.
Hey, real quick, Will Folks said, I went with Lefty smoking. I guess he's talking about my Roquan Smith prediction.
Yeah.
Hey, Will, I agree.
That was a strong one.
Now, Will Folks out there, he threw out Tua. I'm sorry. I know TB is in the house over there, and he a Tua fan, but I'm sorry, bro. I got no love for him.
TB, they talking about your boy. Hey, I picked two different ones though, man. I picked the running back Swift for the Lions. You know Johnson stay hurt, man. Johnson stay hurt. Last year he only had 2 100-yard games. So I think this is a good time to go ahead and feature that boy DeAndre Swift, and I think that he might be able to sneak in there and get that Rookie of the Year. Now so defense,
he gonna get hurt too.
Defense. I said Chase Young, but my dark horse is gonna be it's gonna be the Bears cornerback. What's his name? Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson. The Bears need a cornerback real bad. And I think that boy has the potential to be one of the best in the league this year.
And Arteria Burns just went down. So the starting job is pretty much his for the taking. What you got, kid?
Hey, Pat, you know that Matthew Stafford throws the ball 100 times a game, right?
That's because they didn't have no running game. Their running game was obsolete.
All right, well, I mean, good luck with that. Because the man literally throws the ball 100 times a game.
But if you go back and think about it, Swift catches the ball out the backfield also, brother.
Well, he does. Yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah.
He does.
And by the way, Matthew Stafford back is about as bad as mine.
So, those are facts. I
don't know if he's going to make it through the season.
Those are facts.
So Swift may get a chance to run the ball a whole lot.
With back problems, I got Matthew Stafford. I got C.J. McCullough. And then I got Damani Pugh.
Damn. I came in third.
Yeah, your back not as bad as theirs, okay?
I gotta put Lefty first, man. I gotta put it.
Ain't that something? Y'all get off my back. Y'all get off my back.
Stand up quick right now.
So, hey, I like Simmons. I think that boy is gonna kill. The Giants should have took him. They definitely should have took him. But my eyes on CeeDee Lamb, man. They didn't give the man the 88. They didn't give him the Michael Irvin and the Drew Pearson number, man. They gonna feature that boy. They gonna definitely feature him. They gonna definitely feature him. So let's move on and let's get into it. We're gonna spend our last hour here. Let's get into what's the big news right now. The NBA. The NBA playoffs. So, my first question, it kind of changed now because since what happened last night with the Clippers winning over the Mavs and Doncic going down with an ankle injury, and now he's questionable for the next game. Without Doncic, they don't have a chance. But I had more likely round one upset. Blazers over Lakers, Mavs over Clippers. KDL, kick it off. Who's the more likely first round upset?
Well, I'm with you last night. Kind of ruined it. But it would have been Dallas over the Clippers. If y'all remember game one, Dallas was winning when KP was ejected. They were winning at the time. Game two, the Clippers never led. Like, so if Luka don't go down, I mean, I know it's just changed the series now. You had the potential of that being an upset more so than the Blazers and the Lakers. The Blazers and the Lakers, Damian Lillard was on a tear. The team that played like 7 straight 8 playoff games, right, to get in. Eventually, those legs was going to catch up with them. You saw that the other night. Then LeBron and AD finally had sense enough to get in the paint, and they hit shots. So when it happens, that they weren't going to beat the Lakers. They might have stretched them to 6, but they weren't going to beat the Lakers. Dallas had a better chance of beating the Clippers, to me.
All right, PG, who you got?
I gotta say what Kevin was right. I had the more likely would have been Dallas over the Clippers. Well, with Doncic going down, they have a chance in hell now. Even though the bench came in and played a good game last night, they can't do it without him. Porzingis stepped up, played well, but they just need him. They have to have him. He's the best player on the team.
Right, I agree. Ben, what you got?
First off, I want to give a shout out to Coco Gauff. Even though she's getting the brakes beat off right now, she's doing it with style. She's doing it with style. But most likely upset, man. I'm not going to go and cut the Lakers' head off right now because the reason I say it won't be the Lakers is because the Blazers hung their heads as they were getting destroyed. Haven't seen that the whole bubble. They hung their heads and they just couldn't get it going, man. They couldn't get it going. And so that now it's blood in the water. It's blood in the water. But Luka says he's fine. He's going to be all right for the next game. And I'm going to tell you, and I've said it for years since he was in Boston. Your man is not a good coach.
Who, Doc?
Doc is from the shop.
Wow.
I'm sorry, man. Doc ain't got them chops as a coach, man. He get these good players, and then his team starts winning because he got good players, but he can never get them over the hump. Now, in Boston, he had this man called Kevin Garnett. That's what got them over the hump. Not Doc. It was his assistants, and it wasn't Doc. So this is a team that's on the ropes right now. Because if Luka don't go down last night, guess what? They down in that series.
Yeah.
You know what? Well, something that you just said that was kind of profound. You said it was his assistants when he was in Boston. So what are you saying about his assistants now that he's over there in Los Angeles?
He got a hell of a staff, man. Sam
Cassell, got Tyronn Lue. He got some great assistants over there. So what you saying?
Young assistants. When he's in Boston, he had the old heads.
Yeah, Thibodeau.
He had he had some old heads. Now he got some young up and comings and all of that, man.
So do you think
they on the road?
Do you think Rick Carlisle will outcoach Doc Rivers in this series? That's basically what it comes down to.
That's basically what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying.
That's basically what you're saying.
Game one. They should have won game one, but your man got thrown out the game. Okay, They came back and showed you in game two. Then in game 3, Luka went down because somebody looked like somebody didn't wipe the floor, and he went down and had a nice little spill, and he really couldn't come back from it. So he was trying he ain't got treatment overnight. He coming back because that man got something to prove.
But they was behind. They was behind when he went down anyway, though.
But they was
losing. They was losing last night.
Yeah,
but
they was down double digits.
Getting blown away. They wasn't getting blown away where they couldn't get back into the game.
But yeah, they was in the game.
So let's
see. The Clippers lucking up. That's what I'm gonna tell you. They lucking up.
Well, you know what? Championships it's always a little luck behind championships. We all know that. Just look at Toronto last year. That was a lot of luck right there. Losing
it's always
KD
that
and,
bench player.
Yeah, that bench. So I'm gonna throw a quick curveball in here because we saw 2 injuries Thursday night and last night. Lillard went down with the dislocated finger, and Doncic last night with the ankle. Who's more valuable to their team, Luka or Dame? Ben, kick it off.
Ooh.
Man,
I'm gonna have to say Luka. I'm gonna say Luka because for me, the Blazers are not gonna win that series. Period. Right. Like Kev said, all that playing in the bubble, them legs are getting tired. You can see, and for me, their inside play ain't strong enough. So they for me, they was never gonna win. They was gonna take the series to probably 7, give you that. But as far as that, so if Luka goes out, it's over with.
And speaking on that, my man Brendan Richardson chimed in. It's a 7-game series. Speaking on Dallas and the Clippers, even with Luka going down, I'm not quite sure. Kev, who's more valuable, Luka or Dame?
Dame Dollar. I get what Ben's saying about Luka. That's true. They won't win without him. I definitely understand that. However, Portland does not win without Dame Dollar. If he wasn't averaging almost 50, 40, 50, 60 points in that 8-game stretch, they wouldn't even be in the playoffs. So they don't win without him. Now, I'm going to tell you, he's going to play in game 3. And he's going to play tonight, and I'm going to tell you why. I had the exact same injury. My finger was facing that way. My teammate pulled it back. We wrapped it. Next game I played. So he's going to play. And what's good about it, this was my shooting hand. This is not his shooting hand. The only problem he's going to have is catching the ball. And you know how you dribble with your right and you go to your left? Well, he's not going to be able to control the ball with the left. That's going to be his biggest problem. He's ball dominant. So without Damian Lillard.
Hey, hold on. Did Kev just compare himself to Dame Lillard? Let's go here. Let's
no.
He
I
did.
said I had the same injury.
He said he had the same injury.
Your range is underneath the basket, and that's it. Just get that real.
Layups only.
That's it.
No, I can shoot a little bit.
Dame come in the gym, he got range. When you come in the gym, you got to get underneath the basket and do one of these.
Hey, I got a lot of people that are beg to differ.
Ben,
but
I got to stand up for my boy.
Okay, PG, who you got?
I got to stand up for my boy Kev. He had more game than just under the basket. He's not left-handed. He's not left-handed. He got all around game.
See, there you go, disrespecting my kin folks, Pat.
Oh, my
Hey,
fault.
listen, I know we ain't on the smoking ass segment, but on Kev's comment, I'm gonna have to ask that.
Hey, I agree.
I had the exact same injury.
I agree with Kev, man. It's Dame time. Dame is the most important player right now. He has to be on that team. He has to be playing for Portland to win. And I think they're gonna tape that ring up. I think he's gonna come out and he's gonna have a hell of a game next game, even with that finger like that. Watch what happens. The reason why they lost this game, Portland was starting to get tired, bro. They had to do that play-in game. Then after that play-in game, they had that 1-day rest, and then they had to go play LA again. They beat them in that game. They came back. They tired, man. They needed some rest. And they doubled Dame all game.
And they really not getting no rest because they're playing every other day right now.
Every other day, so they no rest.
Well, Lefty, to answer your question, man, I think it's equal when it comes to how important they are for their teams. If you take both of them players away from them teams, they go nowhere. So I will say it's equal, and they're here and here. They're 1A and 1B.
Okay.
Hold on,
Kev. We got Brendan chimed in again. Dame is more important for them to have a chance. Dallas can run with the Clippers without Luka. That's interesting. Kev, what you got?
I was gonna say Dame is more important in this series because CJ McCollum's back is messed up. So they don't have the 1-2 punch they really don't have. CJ giving you a couple buckets, but he can't just take over if Dame is not there. And if Dame is injured, CJ back messed up. Melo had 2 points, and that was at the beginning of the game last game. So they don't have the firepower to without Dame. And like I said, if he wasn't averaging 50, 60, they wouldn't even be in the playoffs.
And plus Collins then went down. Collins is out now.
Collins is out.
He had to have surgery. So there's another knock at Portland's team.
And my man Big Tone chimed in and said Dallas is done. Luka is big. He makes that team go. So honestly, let me say, I don't think either one is wrong. I think they both are just equally important to their team. Neither one of them are going to win without, if Luka's out, Dallas don't have a chance. If Dame's out, the Lakers don't got a chance. So let's segue into that. Let's talk Lakers, Portland. So after the blowout win Thursday, remember the Lakers were up by as much as 30 points. And the Lakers have been struggling throughout the bubble, even at the start of the playoffs. But after that, after seeing, KCP was shooting well, they hit like 14 threes. Are the Lakers ready to roll? Are we about to see that corner turn with the Lakers? And are they about to roll? PG, what you got?
I'm glad you came to me first because them other two studs are Lakers fans, so you already know where it's going to go with them. And I'm going to say no. They not ready to roll yet. Yes, they had a good game. Yes, those bench players came up and they played a good game. But let's all be real. Bench players don't have consecutive good games like that. They're not going to have a good game like that again. And that's on me. That's what I'm saying about the bench player. Far as Blazers, what the Blazers need to do, if the Blazers if they get some rest, if they took this one day to really rest and do nothing, no practice or nothing, that just rest. You know what I'm saying? And Dane can come back from that finger injury. Carmelo gonna step up. He ain't gonna have another 2-point game. That's not gonna happen. That hasn't happened in a long time since he's been back in the league, Kevin. Because I know you gonna go there. And CJ, he gonna have a different game this week. I mean this game too. So we gonna see after tonight if they really ready to roll or not.
All right, we got a few comments. My boy Big Tony Matoya chimed in and said Lakers in 6. Big house, big fella in the house. You already know.
Come on, House.
You already know how House feel. We ain't even got to talk about it. He can't stand my boy LeBron, but that's my guy. Big Will, folks chimed in. The little drama that you had in the first round is over. Let's get to round 2. So it sounds like Will saying the Lakers about to roll. Ben, what you think? Lakers ready to roll?
The Lakers are not ready to roll.
My man.
They are not ready to roll because they still cannot get their guard play in order, and they keep getting that young old man out there, Caruso. I'm sorry, he's trash.
Rondo may be back tonight though.
Now, until they get their backcourt in order, man, they're gonna struggle throughout these entire playoffs, man. Period. I'm sorry, because their guard play has everything to do with it. Because J.R. Smith ain't bought a basket. Caruso, I mean, he had turned the ball over in crucial plays. I mean, maybe if he just cut that hair off, maybe he'll come in with a little more swag or something.
His haircut is terrible.
That's the problem. He cut it.
His haircut ain't worse than Carmelo Anthony's beard. It's horrible. He definitely needs to cut that off. Or his hair. Yeah, he's definitely. He need Lala back. Kev, who you got?
We shouldn't. Hold on. Wait a minute. We shouldn't talk about nobody's hair when we segue them two teams, right? Because we already know the man himself hair is bad.
Facts.
Yeah, okay.
What you think? They ready to roll?
I'm gonna say this. I don't know about ready to roll because technically LeBron is not playing well. I don't care about his stats whatsoever. You have to have more of an impact on the game, which is what him and AD did in the second game. They both was at the rim all night long. LeBron took the ball to the rim. AD didn't shoot as many jumpers. And look, they won the game. Imagine that. Right. Then, yeah, I agree. I like Caruso. Don't get me wrong. But right now, get out the way. Deion Waiters should be in the game. JR should be in the game, which all of a sudden, they made appearances, came in, hit shots. What a difference different players make. When you have no outside shooting, you put two dudes in that can shoot, and voila. Wow, Vogel. But that's neither here nor there. I think they're going to be good from here on out in the series because they figured out the formula. Now, they might not hit 14 threes again, but if LeBron and AD is attacking that basket, there is nothing Portland can do. And you run that Dame and you get the ball out of his hand, they'll be good.
Okay, we got a few comments. Big House chimed in. Without AD, the Lakers get swept. You might have a point.
Woo.
You definitely might have a point. Okay, Big Brendan talking about the White Sox. We're gonna get on that in a minute. Big Tone chimed in. If Rondo's back, hope he got something left in the tank. Caruso is 1 for 100. Wow. In Caruso's defense, he's probably their best perimeter defender right now. Like, he plays some good defense.
That's the only reason in the game.
Yeah, he's
like a little
definitely
man.
That's all you gotta be. That's what you gotta be.
And then he dropped him off.
I was just finna say that, Ben.
He dropped him off like he on the short bus, man.
His perimeter defense.
Right now, without Rondo though, and without Avery Bradley, that's why he's on the floor for defense.
Right.
And when he's open, he's got to hit at least 1 or 2 shots. He just wasn't hitting none, so it makes it look like he shouldn't be out there. But he's out there for defense.
Definitely. What you got, PG?
No, I was just going to follow up with what everybody else is saying, man.
But I tell you this. Sorry to cut you off, PG.
Oh, it's all good.
But this game right here for the Lakers is gonna let you know if they hit a ball and ball out, or are they gonna struggle for the remainder of the playoffs?
I mean, that's a good point. I definitely want to see tonight's game. I want to see how they're gonna come out.
And Tony just made a great point. You know, Rondo will be back today, so Caruso won't be getting all that time that he was getting earlier.
Well, good.
I think that's gonna. I think that's gonna play a major factor in there too, as far as Rondo being back. Rondo's more of a floor general. He can initiate the offense and get it to the right person, and he's a better defensive player than Caruso.
Definitely. And we can use the Kyle Kuzma sighting for crying out loud at some point in the series too. But carry on.
See, the problem with Kyle Kuzma is he needs to go back to his blonde or different color hair.
He can't go back to the Meteor Man. What's the dude? The villains in Meteor Man? He can't go back to that look.
He's just balling as Meteor Man.
He cannot go back to that look. He looked like he looked like he should have been voguing on the runway instead of playing basketball.
Not bring back that blonde look, man.
The look was terrible. That look was terrible.
He was voguing.
Be voguing on the runway.
Hey, you remember George Hill did it too.
Yeah, and it was horrible on him as well.
It was.
First of all, shout out to all grown men with blonde hair. Kill yourself. So let's move on. Please feel free to kill yourself if you got blonde hair. So I'm gonna throw a little spin on this. You know, we had we about 40 minutes left, but I want to. There's a question came up. I didn't add it to the notes, but I'm gonna throw it out to you guys and see what you all think. After game 2, LeBron called AD a unicorn. Now AD putting up great numbers. But the question has been asked all week, who was LeBron's best teammate? AD, D-Wade, or Kyrie Irving? Ben, who you got?
D-Wade. No, hands down. It's D-Wade. Because D-Wade did what was necessary for LeBron and him to coexist and for them to win. Okay? AD, he just ain't found it yet. Maybe if he get that little curl or whatever, just go back with a ball fade, man, and just rock the unibrow, maybe he'll find his niche. And then everybody knows that Kyrie is such a girl. He's such a girl. He's such a girl, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
And we pretty much Big Tone chimed in, and Big Joe out in Florida, they both said Wade as well. Kev, who you got? AD, D-Wade, and Kyrie. Now, Kev, before you say something, the reason this question came up, because LeBron had to lead in almost every statistical category with Wade and Kyrie. AD right now is leading. The only thing LeBron's leading in is assists. So I want y'all to keep that in mind. AD is leading. He's leading scorer, leading rebounder. KDL, who you got?
Talent-wise, it's AD. But that's not my pick. My pick is Wade. Wade is the reason LeBron is a champion. Wade taught LeBron how to be a champion and taught him that's how he had to leave Cleveland. Taught him how to be a champion, and now he knew how to leave and go to Cleveland, go to LA, and lead people to the playoffs and championships. He wouldn't do that without Dwayne Wade. So, best teammate ever, Dwayne Wade. Kyrie, talent-wise, he's up there, But like Ben said, he's basically a girl and he's bipolar. So that's neither here nor there.
You call him a bipolar female?
Hey, bipolar, man. Come on, man. Talking about the earth. Hey, come on, man. AD is bailing out LeBron in his older years now because LeBron is not as athletic as he was. He's not running, blocking shots and all that. He's leaving AD to do that. Telling AD, hey, be the leading scorer. I'll assist everybody. He's helping them out at his older age. So we'll see how that plays out in the next couple rounds as they go further when that money on the line and that booty get tight. We're going to see what AD is in a pressure situation now because he's expected to win. It's a little different for the Pelicans. So we'll see how he, carries on in the playoffs with pressure on him.
So Big Joe chimed in. He said AD playing in Bron's game and not his own. It's a good point. Good point. PG, after 3, who you taking?
Chicago boy, Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade was basically all around killer when LeBron came there. He just like in LA right now. It's like LeBron's passing the torch to AD. Dwayne Wade took a step back to let LeBron lead that team. LeBron was leading the team. LeBron was at his prime. Like Kevin said, he taught him how to win. But when you think about it, Dwayne Wade was the assassin. Dwayne Wade was willing to take those last shots and do whatever it was needed to be to win. Right now, AD isn't doing that. Like he's like Will said, AD is playing LeBron's game. He ain't playing his game. But he's still leading the stats and everything. That's because LeBron is getting older. He's falling back. He has no choice but to fall back. That age is starting to get to him.
Right.
His body is weighing out on him, man, right in front of our eyes. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I'm going to still say AD. Kyrie was a prima donna. If it wasn't about Kyrie, it wasn't about team.
Well, okay. Now let's also keep in mind, without Kyrie, they don't come back from that 3-1. Bron had a hell of a series, but remember that game 7, Kyrie put up 40? I think he put up 40 in game 6 and game 7. But I'm gonna roll with AD, and only because
you're a Lakers fan.
The only reason I'm gonna roll with AD because AD's a big, and he brings something totally different to the table. Like Wade wasn't like that. Wasn't 2006 Flash when LeBron got there. Like Wade, like LeBron kind of helped resurrect him because if people tend to forget that Miami fans was calling for Wade's head before LeBron and Bosh came in. He stayed hurt, and he just wasn't the same guy due to all the injuries. So he definitely wasn't the same guy.
He had no other help. Right, he was doing everything.
He did what was necessary to coexist with LeBron, and they worked so well together.
Well,
he just ain't found that niche right now because now he want to play outside and inside. He get banged up, and then I just got to sit him out for a second so he can get some type of massage on his back or whatever. Man, telling you, it's all Wade. When you want to say who was the best,
Wade.
It's Wade.
I'm gonna say real quick. Wade was the best teammate because you remember Brown walked into Wade County. If I'm Dwayne Wade and I say, hey man, we played 1 year, you know what I'm gonna do? Even though I'm a champion and you're not, I'm going to step back. I'm going to let you be the dude. And I'm going to step back and I'm going to roll off you. That's how we're going to win. That's
pass the torch.
Big as a teammate when this is Wade County that you walked into. So best teammate got to be Wade, bro.
But then wasn't Wade and LeBron kind of the same play? I think AD can do things LeBron couldn't even do in his prime as a big. Like, I think that's the difference. AD is capable of leading and scoring. I don't think Wade could have led that Miami Heat team.
You know what the problem is with AD? AD has not proven that he can be a winner.
Not yet.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree with that.
He can be a winner. It's always going to be Wade, and then Kyrie, and then AD.
Okay, so let's elaborate. If the Lakers win it this year, and AD leading and scoring, leading and rebound, would it change your decision, Ben?
It's kind of tough, man. It's kind of tough because, you know, he got to show me that he got that hunger. Because Shaq said the other night, the two of them, AD and LeBron, has to exude their dominance from the start. soon as the tip
Right.
go out, they need to be dominant.
Right.
And that's what they haven't shown me in the Lakers uniform, that they can be dominant for 48 minutes and just let everybody know we playing.
Okay, but still, if they win it, and AD's leading in category, would it change your pick from Wade?
No, it's not going to change, but it might move him up over Kyrie.
You got him under Kyrie?
I got him under Kyrie right now.
Oh, wow. PG, chime in on that real quick. Hold on, get to you.
No, it's not gonna change mine either, man. Because D Wade did so much more. I'm talking about even on the defensive end. It's been times that AD has played defense, but I've seen him take off sometimes on defense. So I'm still gonna say no. It's not.
Okay. Kev, what you got? What you think? Would it change your pick?
It's not going to change my pick. I'm still taking Wade because I'm doing it for other reasons. I'm doing it because he did the ultimate as a teammate, bro. He said, "I'm gonna step back and the world is yours. I'm gonna feed off you. That's how we gonna win." He's the ultimate teammate. Now, talent wise, the answer is AD. This is not about talent. It's about who's your best teammate. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like and Kyrie can't be because he wanted to leave. So you can't put a guy to say he's the best teammate and the guy wanted to leave. He wanted to be the man all behind the whole time, and then he left. So he can't possibly be the best teammate. So my answer was not going to change. Still Wade.
Okay, we had Brendan chimed in on a great point. D Wade showed he was the ultimate teammate because he was able to step to the side and let another player lead his team. He led off the court so LeBron could learn to be a champion and win on the court. Ultimate sacrifice, ultimate teammate. Big Joe chimed in. LeBron's still going to get all the credit if they win. AD's fault if they lose. I kind of agree. That's usually how it goes, though.
That's usually how it goes. LeBron
even as a LeBron fan, I think that's exactly how it's going to go. So, all right, let's move on real quick. So I noticed something throughout the bubble games and even in these playoffs. Are the refs called?
Another break, man, before the end of the show.
Yeah, he did say another break.
Oh, oops. Hold on, I couldn't see.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Oh yeah. All right, so before we get into that, we about to take a quick break. Yeah, Pat, mute your mic. Pat, mute your mic. All right, so before we get into the next topic, we're gonna take another quick break. We'll be right back to you. Stay tuned in. Humidor Sports and Cigars podcast. We'll be right back. And we are back. We are back. Thank you guys once again for tuning in on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. And we also appreciate all the support for Humidor Sports and Cigars podcast, man. All the comments today. Thank you guys for chiming in and talking that talk with us. We definitely appreciate it. So before we went to break, observation. Looking at the how the refs been calling the games in the bubble. We seen a lot of calls that we didn't really see before this pandemic. And I think the effect is not having fans, and like guys are getting caught doing a lot of stuff that maybe if the fans were there, the refs are a little more distracted, too much noise, maybe stuff they can get away with. So do you agree? And the one play in particular was the LeBron rundown when he was running down on what's dude name from Portland for the layup, and he got called for the offensive foul for pushing off, which is something that you rarely see from behind. LeBron's behind him, and he still got called for the offensive foul. We've seen a lot of charges. A lot of guys are getting in foul trouble in the bubble. Are the refs calling the games too tight? Katie, I'm going to let you start out.
Yes. The KP ejection the other night was ridiculous. You don't throw a star out the game. Now, it's on him, too, because he had one tech already. I get it. He got to be more careful. I get it. But then as a ref, you make a decision right there. You don't have to throw him out the game. That was ridiculous. Yes, there are being calls. I think they overdoing it, man. I don't know if they're trying to shine or I don't know what it is. But at some point when you're watching, you like, man, let them play, bro. Stop calling all this ticky-tack, man. The offensive foul, yeah, on the replay, okay, yeah, he cleared them, but who don't? James Harden pushes off every time he shoots the ball. So I think they're overdoing it, man. I think they're overdoing it. Let them play sometimes, man. I just, think about it, y'all. Y'all watching the games, and you like, come on, man, with these whistles, bro. Let them play.
Yeah.
So yeah, they overdoing it.
So we had a few chime in. Big Joe chimed in. Refs can hear the contact they probably would miss with fan noise. That's a good point. Big Will said no more Lanceros for Pat ass. So that was from you. That's for you, Pat. And Gandy chimed in. Let them play, refs. It's starting to look like the NFL with these phantom calls. Pat, since Will told you no more Lanceros, I'm gonna let you chime in.
Big Will, I'm sorry, man. I was just playing, man. Don't be so personal about things right now. And back to what Kevin was saying. Yes, I think they are, man. Like he said, when they kicked out Porzingis the other game, man, that was just like total disrespect. You being a star player, if you can't go to the ref and discuss your displeasure with a call, what are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? We might as well not even say nothing. I think they calling the games way too tight right now. It's been a lot of ticky-tack fouls that should be just play-ons, man. Let them go. And they're missing a lot of real fouls, dude. Somebody, what's his name with the Braves? Y'all boy from the Clip. He went to the bucket last night. Got a layup. They knocked the man down and everything on the ground. They didn't call nan foul, and it should have been 3. So yeah, they need to swallow those whistles a little bit more.
Ben, how you feeling about the refs?
Listen, the refs got a job to do, man. And listen, no fans, so a player reaction is going to be more noticeable now in this bubble. So you got to watch what you're saying. You are not going to front these refs, man. You forgot about the days of like Steve Javie and, those old school refs. You're not going to disrespect them, man. If a call is called, it is what it is. So KP put himself in that position, man. He put himself in that position, man. Yeah, it looked like a block. He got him with the body. Okay, so now you finna snap off, and the ref can hear everything that you saying right now. Tee up. Then you come down in the meaningful time, and now you want to step up for your player, and you come in to be the third party that enacted a push and shove. Guess what? Tee up. You out of here. Period. That's his fault, man. That's the player's fault. That ain't got nothing to do with.
Well, I will say the first tech was bogus.
Yeah,
but the second one was legit. The second was legit.
And you kind of front that ref. and nobody knows what he says. But if they can go back, I'm guarantee you, he dropped an F-bomb or your call ain't. So he had to let them know.
Okay,
Man,
but that's the point though. That's the point. He shouldn't have got the first tag. I'm allowed to be frustrated because you call a call. I felt I got fouled. I'm allowed to take
No,
that
you're
out.
not.
It's not
No,
personal
you're not.
against you.
'Cause that was a
Stop
clean
taking
block.
away.
That was a clean
Stay
block.
away.
Stop. Hey, man. Stop
Stay
taking it
away.
personal, referee. I'm
Stay
allowed to be
away.
frustrated. Plus, I'm in a bubble. I ain't seen my girl in 2 months. I'm frustrated. So when I feel like I got fouled, I could have released some of this stress.
Guess what? They
He
should
didn't throw
he
the
should have
fist
went
at
to
him. He just threw his fist. He was frustrated. Come on, man. Basketball is emotional.
hey,
He should have
I
got the
noticed
towel.
something else, man.
Go ahead, Pat. Go ahead.
I feel like right now we're in a bubble, and dude up there to the left that's smoking right now, he's the slide of the show right now. He's going against all grains. There it is. We miss Slack, but he is here.
Well, the one thing I can agree with Kev on is they should get some conjugal visits here and there while they're in the buck. They, get the fellas are a little frustrated. But no, as far as I do believe no fans though. The refs are really focused. You ain't listening to people telling you suck and yelling and screaming. Like you can hear all the contact, all the slaps. You can
all that crying and play ball.
It's right there.
But they've been talking to the refs like that all year long. So this ain't no different just because they're in the bubble. They talk to the refs like that's how it is. You ever been to an NBA game?
Yeah, but now I don't have to block the fans out. Now I don't have 30,000 people screaming at me, telling me I'm horrible, and my wife's ugly, and all that type of our fans get on the refs. Like they not listening to that now. They really focused on everything. So we get every little call, if any little touch, any little slap. But I do think they are calling the games just a little too tight though. Real talk, they call the game a little too tight, and it's kind of slowing the game down. It does make for some bad basketball.
I don't think they call it too tight, man, because listen, it's a lot of tempers and stuff on the edge in the bubble right now. So they gotta keep it. They gotta keep keep it going without all of this tension and all this stuff. Because man, players getting at each other, they getting each other, and then I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody is together. Remember, you at the pool side with this team, they talking that smack. So once they get on the court, man, they're still talking. So
hey,
but basketball is emotional, man. I'm allowed to.
TJ Warren and
Jimmy Butler,
Butler.
you just
man, dude, I'm telling you, it's a lot of whooping going on, man. It's a lot of whooping going on, and they got tight.
Okay, but that's different. That's different.
Ben took the words out of my mouth. TJ Warren and Butler are going at each other. Butler done called that boy out big time.
It's a lot of trash talking going on, and these refs got to keep this stuff in order, or it's going to spiral out of control.
But bro, that's not the point. If you see a situation and they woofing and it's been all in the media, then yeah, you take care of that. You don't let the game get out of hand. That's when you're doing your job. But we're talking about all these ticky-tack fouls that they calling that they usually would not call, and for whatever reason they calling in the bubble. Yes, if you got the woofing and all that, you step in and do your job. I get it. But we talking about all this ticky-tack. Every play down, you blowing the whistle. Every time you look up, somebody at the free throw line. Come on, man.
You taking away from the game. You taking away from the game when you're doing that.
I don't think you're taking away from the game. I think you creating order.
Big Joe said he's waiting on the fight by the pool. Talking about TJ Warren and Jimmy Butler.
Oh man,
he waiting for them to square up.
Jimmy Butler said that boy cannot guard me, and if I was his coach, I would never put him on me. I say, okay,
Whoa. Definitely.
Well, I hope they don't walk in the pool room together.
Right.
Hey, but
somebody,
you know what?
Somebody gonna lay hand.
Jimmy Butler obviously got in his head too, because Warren has not had a good game against Miami since then.
But personally, I wouldn't fight no grown man who sit between somebody's legs and get his hair braided. I just think something wrong with him. It's just crazy. I'm not fighting to do with braids. I'm
right, because in the bubble, who legs they sitting behind?
That's definitely weird. Somebody braiding their hair.
But if you look at Jimmy Butler's head, he ain't got to worry about it or his face because he ain't doing absolutely nothing to it.
He's so lame. He looking horrible.
That ain't happening.
Yeah, he looked like my man on the Shy.
Damn.
Yeah, he do. The crackhead.
Dude, that got killed.
The one with the crack. The one that was the crackhead?
Yeah.
That may be the worst beard on TV next to Carmelo Anthony's.
Ooh, hey,
Carmelo's beard is horrible.
Update right here, y'all. Bucks 73, Magic's 45 in third quarter.
You could have just said the Bucks are beating the brakes off Orlando because that's what's happening right now. That's definitely what's happening right now. So let's move on, guys, real quick. We got about 15 minutes left. The NBA lottery. We just saw the lottery go down the other night. It was Thursday night, right? We saw the NBA lottery go down, and the top 4. Minnesota Timberwolves got the first pick. Golden State Warriors with the second pick. The Hornets with the third pick, and the hometown Bulls got the 4th pick.
Yeah.
What do you think? How you think the order gonna go? And who as a Chicago guy, who would you like to see in a Bulls uniform out the top cats? Ben, kick it off.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm going on record. I don't want nobody with the last name Ball in Chicago.
Amen.
All right.
Oh.
Let's go ahead and keep it there.
Okay.
So I'm hoping that my man, what's the big one?
Obi Toppin, baby.
Obi Toppin drops to the Bulls because they need somebody that's big, physical, but they do say that he got a problem playing defense. But I would say that's a logical choice for the Bulls and Obi Toppin because Edwards, he's not going to drop to number 4.
Definitely not.
That's who I would love to see for the Bulls to get, or trade the pick, get you some veterans down here, get you some quality, get you some two or three quality veterans here, trade that pick, get a coach, and let's roll.
Let me ask you this: would you package the 4th pick with Zach LaVine for Bradley Beal?
Hell yeah.
In
a heartbeat.
If that was on the table, you would be a fool not to do it.
Hey, I'm putting a box of T-52s in the package.
Well, we are talking about the Bulls, so you never know what's going to happen. They may turn it down.
Listen, I'm going to have all the fellas get together. We're going to put some T-52s, and we're going to put that in the package deal.
Throw in a couple of SmokeFellas shirts as well.
Yeah.
KDL, we got that with those top 4 picks.
We was actually talking about this last night in the shop, to be honest. If I'm Minnesota, I'm really open for business. And here's why. You don't need Ball because you got D'Angelo Russell. You don't need Wiseman because you have Karl Anthony Towns. So if I'm Minnesota, I might be open for business, trading the pick and getting me a vet. That's what I might be doing if I'm Minnesota. Golden State is probably going to take Wiseman. They got a big man that can run and all that, right? Athletic big man. I think they probably take Wiseman, which means either Edwards or Toppin is probably going to fall. Toppin is definitely not going top 4. So he'll fall to the Bulls if the Bulls want to take him. I disagree with Ben. I think I don't know if Charlotte would take Edwards because they got a lot of players just like him.
Yeah, they do.
So I think
they wing heavy.
So I think Edwards and Toppin is going to be right there for the Bulls if they want him. And if you get gunning Zach LaVine out of here, Edwards can shine along with Kobe White. So I think Edwards would fit with the Bulls as well as Toppin. But word has it they're going after that Israel cat.
Yeah. I heard that. Avid, however you say his name. PG, what you think? What you think about the top 4 picks?
I think Edwards is going to go to Minnesota. I would definitely stay away from Ball. Who wants to be enticed with that clown circus? Because it's going to be a circus. He don't fit in Golden State anyway. So even if Golden State with the second pick, if they picked him, I don't know why they would do that. The Bulls, I think Obi Toppin would be a great pick for the Bulls because they need a big who actually can run the flow and who has the offensive skills and who can shoot. The man's he has a high motor, bro. He gets up and down that court. And I don't know why they say he didn't play defense, man, because last year he averaged 4 to 5 blocks per game. So what happened with them saying he don't play defense? You don't get blocks unless you're playing defense.
Well, I think he's not a good on-ball defender. He's a great help side defender.
Yeah,
I think that's what they were talking about.
He get put in the basket down there playing around with the bigs. That's what they're saying because when he's playing defense back to the basket, he getting put in the basket, dog. He getting bodied down there, and
Okay, I can understand that.
that's the one thing that they were saying about him. But I mean,
his offense has a great top side though, man. Because I just seen the man play several games where he can set that pick. As soon as he set that pick, he slips, and all you got to do is put the ball up near the rim, and he going to get it. The boy got a 7'1" wingspan.
Well, he'll fit right in with the Bulls because they don't play defense either, which is why they only won 20 games. But look, man,
that's neither here nor there. The Knicks did either.
But I don't know. I don't know. Outside, it ain't that great of a draft, to be honest.
No, it's really top heavy. It's very top heavy.
Kevo, your disdain to Chicago is right here.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll speak the truth though, brother.
But that's what they're saying. After the first 5 picks, the draft is garbage.
A Chicago fan, we're gonna spray some of this on you, brother, because that's how we feel about you. You ain't nothing but a bug.
Hey, the deep woods off. Hey,
Deep woods off.
Big Joe made hey, this is a great proposal here. Warriors trade for Ben Simmons. He won't have to shoot. Just go to the bucket. So with the Warriors package, that number 2 pick, the Philly.
Well, they're gonna have to give up more than that. They're gonna have to give up more than the number 2 pick, though.
Yeah, they have to throw somebody in there.
I don't think so.
But you may not.
It wouldn't be a bad idea.
That because they call him for Simmons out.
Right, they definitely want him out. They say he
Simmons
don't
and
fit.
Dean cannot play together.
Right.
It ain't worked out. It's a failed project. So you know what I'm saying?
Those are like for cigarettes.
I already did.
Over there, they need to be quiet.
Right. Or move around.
No.
Hey, Ben. Hey, Ben, let me ask you this. Do you think a free agent will end up in Golden State? Because they always pick up somebody free agent as far as bench wise. They get Wiseman and they get the band back together. They're going to be one of the top teams once again in the West.
Yeah.
The difference is the West has changed since they was running roughshod over. You didn't have the Lakers, the Clippers, right? You didn't have how the West. Right. There's a lot of good teams out there. But Golden State is going to jump back in like the top. They get the band back together, a young Wiseman, some type of free agent, they right back.
Oh, they definitely be back. But that's a great point. The West not what it was when they was running roughshod. I think Houston was their biggest challenger. Now you got the Lakers, the Clippers. You got some upcoming teams.
But when you put that band back together, that original band that they had, and you add in, a couple of free agents here and a Wiseman, dude, they're back in it. They back in the top 5.
Yeah.
They're gonna be back in the top 5, just like Thanos.
Yeah. Wiseman of Golden State is scary to me.
Yeah,
that's
gonna be crazy.
Yeah. That's definitely scary.
Those are look like y'all ain't got no hair.
Wow. Don't hate on the ball, brother.
Wow. You'll be there one day, brother. Don't worry about it.
Shout out to your Beijing. You drew that line.
Hang in there.
You drew that line in.
That's why your beard look a little crooked too.
All right, I'm not gonna get on with LaMelo be the number 1 overall pick because you guys already kind of touched on that. So real quick, we got about 6 minutes left. Better coaching job: Chicago Bulls or New Orleans Pelicans? KDL, better coaching job. If you the top coaching candidate out there, and you had your choice between the Bulls and the Pelicans, who you rolling with?
This is no hate to Chicago, y'all.
Oh, here we go.
But the best job is obviously New Orleans. They have Zion. There's more upside, and they have a better team, number 1. And they have more upside in Zion. Chicago has to be cleaned up. Get the Foreman and the Paxton Stench out of here. Bring in the new regime. Let's see how they draft. Let's see how they get free agents. Let's see how they clean the organization up and turn it around and upside. And then you look at Chicago. If you're a coach, you don't walk in here right now. The Last Dance didn't even do them no help. You know what I mean? Like you gotta clean it up first and see what direction Chicago goes, and then it becomes an attractive job. Let's see how they draft. It's a new regime, so let's see how they draft. Right? Let's see if they can acquire some free agents. Let's see how they're gonna do organization-wise before I look at Chicago. I wouldn't walk in Chicago right now. New Orleans is clearly the answer.
PG, who you got? Bulls or Pelicans?
Ooh.
I had to agree with Kevin actually, and I'm gonna go with talent wise. New Orleans is the more attractive job right now. Like he said, Chicago has a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, man, as far as the organization wise. Until you completely wash that all away and start just fresh, even though they starting fresh with the new GM and they starting fresh with the new coach and stuff, it's still gonna take a couple of years for this to be the job. Like, man, I'm going to Chicago. I gotta go to Chicago. It's New Orleans right now because of the talent.
Ben, who you got? Bulls or Pelicans?
I'm going against KDL and PG69.
Of course you are, Sly.
You know, that's so disrespectful, but I'm gonna let you get away with it this week. Next week, you on the show, I'm gonna delete you real quick if you call me Sly ever again. Let me tell you this, man. When it comes to being an attractive job, until you get Brandon Ingram out of there, I wouldn't want to coach him because he take every bad shot under the sun, and he's gonna continue to be that player that brings the team down. Now you come to Chicago, now you can formulate you can bring a stellar NBA team back to promise. The Shy, you a coach and you come back and bring them back to relevance. I'm going to Chicago because now there is no Paxson, Gar, Foreman. You've got a new regime, and now we finna turn this whole thing around. Why wouldn't I want to be the coach that's part of that?
Hold on, Kev. Before you chime in, Big Joe made a great point, and I definitely agree with him. New Orleans comes with too much pressure to win. They need to win right now.
They got some baggage that is hard to get rid of.
That's a lot of the pressure to win. And I'm you know what? I'm a roll with Ben. I think the Pelicans are constructed raggedy. That roster is raggedy to me. They need to clean that. They need to clean that up.
You need to blow that whole team up, and you're going to have to start over with Zion.
Build around Zion, yeah.
So you got to blow all of that up.
So you don't Chicago. You don't think a coach?
Go ahead, Kev.
You don't think a coach?
Go ahead.
I just wanted to touch on Ben's point that while I agree Ingram takes bad shots, and maybe you do need to trade him. He's actually a free agent. He might not be coming back anyway. But you'd rather coach Zach LaVine?
Oh no, he got to go.
You was talking about bad shots.
He got to go. Don't get me wrong.
Are you serious? So you're rather coach Zach LaVine?
Zach LaVine and a box of Twinkies out of here.
Damn.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you don't think a coach can go in there and turn the Pelicans offense around, even with Ingram there? I think it's more feasible for a coach to go into New Orleans right now with the team they have and turn them around quicker than coming here with the Bulls and build it.
They should have never got rid of Monty Williams, man. They should have never got rid of Monty.
Well,
but
Monty,
you know who got rid of Monty? Brandon. Brandon got that man's job lost.
Yep. No, he had some family. He had a real bad family issue that was going on at the same time, man. What was? Didn't his wife die or something like that?
His wife died,
man.
Yeah, his wife died.
Look at Phoenix.
Yeah, so he was going through something.
They got rid of their best opportunity as a coach.
Yeah, that's a great point. Great point, guys. All right, we got to wrap it up real quick before we go. The Crosstown Classic, White Sox Cubs. We saw the White Sox beat the brakes off the Cubs. The Sox bats are heating up, six straight wins. Cubs still got the best record in baseball. So, man, keep watching, man. We'll touch more on the Crosstown Classic next week, see who wins that series and how it's going. Fellas, give you a quick shout out so we can wrap this up. Ben, start it off.
Hey, man, I want to appreciate you guys stepping in when I was out sick, man. I really appreciate you guys keeping the show rolling, man. I am back in full-fledged for the next few shows, however this train ride goes, man. I am back. So keep that in mind, man. And I want to thanks Lefty for stepping in. Your left hand was good for something.
Damn. Well, I guess I appreciate that. PG, real quick.
I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to tell you guys, make sure you get out there and vote. Register to vote. Go ahead and vote early. Don't wait for the mail-in ballot. They already trying to screw us around. And from me and our mascot, my man Sticks. Peace.
Kev, real quick, close us out.
Hey, I just want to give a shout out to everybody that's watching. Appreciate the love. You guys chiming in, appreciate it. Appreciate the love. I want to give a shout out to Barack Obama because we finally heard a president. We hadn't heard one in the last 4 years. So I appreciate the speech you gave Thursday night, brother.
All righty. Hey, my sentiments exactly. I agree with the guys, man. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back next Saturday, and Ben will be driving the train so I can drink and smoke again instead of hosting. So, hey, salute to everybody. Appreciate the support, man. Until next week, we out. Humidor Sports and Cigars Podcast. Peace.
All right, fellas. Peace.
Peace.